Kia ora and welcome to Business Your Way, a podcast where I take you behind the scenes and look at the strategies, systems and support needed to grow and scale an online service business. One that not only supports you and your family financially, but one that gives you the freedom to live the life of your dreams. I'm taking the many lessons learnt over the last 2 decades of running my own business and working with hundreds of clients to bring you what's working now conversations. I'm pulling back the curtain to bring you real stories from real people, including myself. We're going to talk about everything from how to get clarity on your vision, creating systems so you can automate and delegate, how to hire a kick-ass team that creates raving, returning and referring clients. We're even going to talk about how to kick those limiting beliefs to the curb so that you can flourish in your business. I'm your host, Sandra Julian, an Indigenous mama of 3, fashion-loving sewist and business strategist. Each week, I want to help you dream big, plan well, and do the work to grow and scale your business your way. If you're ready to scale your business, but you're not sure where to start, you can take my free 2-minute quiz to find out your agency owner persona and uncover how you can use your strengths to scale and streamline your business without compromising you and sacrificing your life. You can head over to the show notes for the link. It is sandrajulian.co/quiz. Friend, welcome to this week's episode of Business Your Way. Don't know about you, but wherever I look at the moment, there is talk about this looming recession. It feels like all of the big names in the online space are using it as a reason for you to join them on their next webinar so they can sell you into their program. So this podcast isn't about selling you into, working with me or doing anything like that. But I wanted to share with you lessons or observations that I've made over the last 21 years since I've been in business. I've seen recessions come and go. I've also seen businesses brace themselves for potential health outbreaks like SARS. That was a few years ago now, but, everyone was bracing themselves at that time. If SARS did have an outbreak here in Aotearoa, what would that mean for businesses? So we were stocked up on all the meds, had all of the plans in place, and it didn't really eventuate to anything. But all of these seem insignificant in comparison to the pandemic that we have all just experienced. Over this last 21 years, where I've seen recessions come and go, what I have observed is that, like during COVID, some businesses will thrive during a recession and some businesses will face hard times. Unlike COVID, though, during a recession, the economy still operates, even though money might be tight. Because every country relies on its economy to continue on. That was a real problem, during COVID when the economy completely stopped when we all first went into lockdown. That was, unprecedented. We hadn't really seen that before. So during the last recession, we didn't actually see our clients stop hosting events. In my event agency, clients continued to host their events. But what we did see was a reduction in budgets, a reduction in ticket sales, and even a bigger reduction in sponsorship. What I did learn during the last recession is that those companies that had money didn't want to be seen to be spending money excessively compared to what others were spending around them. So those companies that were thriving during the recession, they were more concerned with the optics of them spending money during the recession. So, not all businesses are necessarily affected by a recession. So, take a look at your business. What does your business do? Who does your business sell its services and products to? How will money for them be affected? Because the word recession creates uncertainty and a little bit of fear amongst all small business owners, especially if you are just finding your feet after COVID. You might have that little bit of resistance or that little bit of fear and cautiousness about what you're doing in business. You might also have this piece of uncertainty like, oh, I'm just going to get on my feet again. And then this recession, I'm going to do hard times again. Is this really all worth it? In my experience, during a recession or an impending recession, that's the time when you want to double down on your business. Really understand your clients. Understand how they might be affected by a recession. Is the scarcity of money going to be a real issue for them? Or is it more about the optics of spending money during a recession? Especially when, it's been labeled as a recession. Your ability to manage your business through a recession or, even a pandemic for that matter, is your resilience and your belief in your service. If you have the resilience to keep bouncing back and trying new things and looking at how you can innovate with what you're doing and believing that what you are doing is of real benefit to your clients. Because when COVID hit in March 2020, I lost 100% of my event management business. At that point, I could have shrunk, I could have closed the doors, but every bone in my body said that I needed to double down and look at an alternative. So I took a two-pronged approach to how I was going to get through the pandemic. I didn't know whether it was going to work or not work. I didn't know what the end result was going to be. I just went, what can I do now that might help me move forward, that might help me recover my business, that might help me move into a completely business slightly adjusted, using that famous word during pandemic, pivot. So my two-pronged approach was I sat down and I found out everything there was to know about delivering a virtual event. What technology was available that was cost effective, and how to structure a virtual event so it was engaging and provided an experience to the same level as our in-person events were delivering an experience. So that was my first approach. Let me find out everything that I need to know about how to deliver not just a virtual event, but an amazing virtual event that changed the way people were feeling about Zoom fatigue. I wanted to eradicate that word Zoom fatigue and provide an experience that people could walk away with going, wow, that was something that I never expected, but I really enjoyed. And then my second approach was to raise my profile in the industry and be seen as an authority in my space. So I attended every virtual meeting for our industry association. I turned my camera on and I spoke up. I also started a Facebook live show and interviewed other industry experts, other industry business owners, so we could tell the real stories behind the business events industry here in Aotearoa, which actually wasn't that dissimilar to our colleagues around the globe. But I wanted other people to hear what was really going on in the business events industry. Everyone was talking about like tourism and retail and how those businesses were just going under and it wasn't good. The event industry were affected just as much. We are business tourism. So conferences, meetings is what we call business events, and it's a form of tourism. And we know from the statistics that people that attend a city or an event or even a country for a business event are likely to return to that destination for leisure.
I wanted to jump in here really quickly and ask you for a big favour. If you are loving this podcast and this episode, I would be grateful if you could share it with a friend. Or even better yet, jump over onto Instagram and share it on your stories. Don't forget to tag me, I'm sandrajulian.co. That really is the best way for others to find out about this podcast, and I thank you in advance. Alrighty, back to the episode.
So I wanted to have our voices heard. We're such a small industry in comparison to other industries, but it was incredibly devastating. So I started a show. I got everyone that I knew in the industry who was prepared to, talk to me and share their story. And we went live on Facebook every week. And then I sent that to my email list, put it on social media, and spread it far and wide. So if you're wondering, how the hell are you going to get through a recession after COVID? The answer, in my experience, is to double down on your business. If you need some help, get to build your resilience muscle, increase your passion for your business, which will result in unwavering confidence in your results that you get for your clients. Use this time to build your authority in the industry. Become known as an industry leader, so when business bounces back from a recession, you are the one that people call. Build your authority is something we can do together. And at the top of this podcast, I said that this episode wasn't about me using the recession to sell you into working with me. But if you need to know how to build your authority, you're like, how on earth do I do that? Where do I even start? Then that is something that I can help you with. My friend, it is time for you to double down on your business. Not be influenced by the fear and scarcity that seems to be in every corner that you look at recently. Everyone is talking about the recession, the looming recession. Brace yourselves, get ready. And I don't disagree with the get ready, but take a look at your business without the influence of the fear or scarcity. How do you want to build your business? Because for me also, I also think that the build what you know your clients need and they will come. There's a saying that lots of, online industry gurus are saying at the moment is you can't build a product and hope that it will sell. I disagree. If you are informed enough, if you know your clients well enough and you can see the gap in the market, you can make a move in your business and then promote that new product or service, and the clients will come. But you have to be clear about how it's going to help the client. What is the result that you are helping them get, and why do they need that now? And why now in particular? And if you're working in your industry and you've been there for a number of years, you understand your client, you don't have to go and do market research. You don't have to go and do surveys or host, forums or groups, or you don't have to do anything if you know your client well enough. So if you're not a new business, you're an established business, and you are looking at what you can do to keep your business afloat and thrive during a recession or a pending looming recession, then take a look at your clients. What are they doing? What are they experiencing? How is their business going? What can you do to help them? And if you build that service or product and show them how it will help them, they will work with you. And again, that's about building authority in your industry, right? If you can see what's coming down the pipeline and you can see how that's going to affect your client, and you go to your client and say, look, I can see that this is going on in your business. I can see that, with the current climate, that there potentially would be benefit in you looking at doing XYZ. Now, they can only say two things, yes or no. Yes, I think that would be a great idea for my business, and let's go ahead and work together. Or they could say, yeah, I'm not sure that that's an accurate kind of reflection, and I'm kind of wanting to take my business in this direction. And that's all good. But just that conversation alone with your client is going to raise your authority. You're not just sitting there waiting for them to come to you and for them to bring work to you. You are having constant conversations with them about your expertise, what you are seeing in the industry, what you think the next trend is going to be, what collating, even if it is anecdotal evidence around you from other conversations, you're going to be well informed around how it's going to affect not only your business, but other businesses. And raising your profile is all about knowing your stuff and communicating it. And if you're in business, you already know your stuff. You just have to believe in yourself that you know what you're doing, and you have to believe that what you have got to offer is going to make a huge difference for the clients that you serve. So in summary, I'm saying to you, during these times when are we in a recession? Is it a pending, looming recession? Whatever the language is, but during this time, it's time to double down on your business. Find your resilience, build your resilience muscle, get the confidence to know that what you have to offer your clients is going to help them immensely. And then be the authority in your business, whatever that looks like. It might look like increasing your social media with, your key messages. It might mean finding a speaking engagement to communicate your key messages. It might mean, going and talking with 3 or 4 clients about what's going on in their business and what you are seeing. It might mean doing webinars or live interviews on social media. Whatever it might look like, start using your voice to raise your profile. The work that you do now will have long-term benefits for your business. So don't think that this is just a one and done, and it's not the work that you should be doing just because we are in this space of, I'm going to call it pending recession. The work that you do now, when you double down on your business and become the authority in your industry by raising your profile, this will have long-term effects on your business in the months and the years to come. And is, to be honest, it should be something that you are always doing in your business. Because I also believe the work that you do in your current 90 days will bear fruit in your next 90 days. So if, like me, you work your business in 90-day cycles, so every quarter you set goals and you work on those goals, the work that you do in your current 90 days will have long-term effects on the next 90 days and the ones after that. So double down, work up your resilience muscle, believe in yourself, get your confidence to raise your profile. You got this.
Before you go today, I want to thank you for being here and listening all the way to the end. All the links to this week's episode can be found in the show notes, and you can read a full blog of the episode at sandrajulian.co/podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button and get new episodes as soon as they're released. If you'd like to reach out to me and chat about anything on today's episode or any of the previous episodes on the podcast, then I've got a link in the show notes so you can leave me a voice message or a video message. I really do look forward to hearing from you. Alrighty, have a productive week and I will talk to you again real soon.